The following is a community affairs presentation from the Ulster County Health Department. This is the Healthy Ulster Radio Show, a weekly presentation exploring community health and sustainability with guests representing a broad spectrum of community partners working to make Ulster County the healthiest in New York State. This program is sponsored by the Health Alliance of the Hudson Valley in Kingston, a member of the WMC Health Network.
Good morning. You are listening to Healthy Ulster Radio. I am your host, Dr. Carol Smith, Commissioner of Health and Mental Health for Ulster County. With me this morning is my co-host, Vin Martello, our Director of Community Health Relations. Good morning, Vin.
Good morning, Dr. Smith. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Dr. Smith, today is a topic that we've talked about a lot here and everywhere we go, really, and that is healthy eating and access to fresh and healthy food. And on that note, we have a guest today who is the manager of the Kingston Farmers Market. Her name is Katie Condrat. She's been there since 2014, and she's worked to promote local and sustainable agriculture in the Hudson Valley for 10 years. She's also a musician, which is very nice. We like that. Mm-hmm. And the mother of a vibrant 5-year-old who's right out in
Magnolia.
They're busy on mom's phone. And welcome, Katie. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me, both of you.
Yeah.
Sure.
So tell us a little bit, give us a little background on the Kingston Farmers Market, how it began, and what are some of the things that it does, what's its mission, and so on. Sure.
So the Farmers Market began in 2000 from our board of directors. We're a nonprofit organization in Kingston, and we've kind of moved around throughout the last 17 years. We used to be in the Rondout, so maybe some Kingston old school people might know it from back down by the water. Then it moved uptown, and now we're on Wall Street between John and Main, which is a perfect location. We love it so much there. We've really found our niche.
Oh, it's a beautiful spot, too. It's wonderful.
It is, and it's really right in the heart of that beautiful uptown Kingston, which we all know and love. The farmers market is really has a few pieces to its mission. It's kind of fourfold. So first, we are intending to support community health and well-being. We aim to offer fresh, healthy foods to the community. We support local farms and businesses, and we also aim to educate the community in Kingston and the Hudson Valley in a greater sense. So the market has been growing quite a bit, and we've been introducing new ways to reach our mission and to reach new people within the Kingston community and surrounding areas.
Well, one of the things we're very much aware of as a health department is something called the Robert Wood Johnson County Health Rankings, and one of the criteria by which we're judged as for our degree of healthiness, as it were, is access to fresh foods and fruits and vegetables especially. So it's considered extremely important part of the overall food environment and the overall health of the individual and the community.
Yeah, and we're very lucky in the Hudson Valley to be right in the heart of this amazing agricultural land. We have an abundance of farmers. If we could accept all of the farmers who apply to be in our market, we would just have so many amazing vendors. Unfortunately, we can't accept everyone, but it really is amazing to see how many farms and producers we have just within 50 miles of Kingston.
Mm-hmm. Is it first come, first serve with the farmers, or is it more that you try to diversify the selections of what's being offered?
Yeah, we definitely have managed competition. So our vendors apply to the farmers market. They tell us all of the products that they want to sell, and then we determine individually by each product which vendors can sell which products. So a vendor might apply for, all kinds of different fruits and vegetables and meat and eggs and butter. And then we will tell them, okay, well, we're going to manage this and you can bring the following things and not the other following things, so that we can allow for a greater number of vendors and to also make sure that there's a fair share split up between the vendors that we do have.
Mm-hmm. So it goes beyond fruits and vegetables to a whole spectrum of different things?
Absolutely, yeah. We have 40 vendors this year, which is our highest number of vendors that we've had. Last year was 35, and we've kind of lingered around 35 for many years. And because we've got so much support, we're able to expand a little bit and introduce a few new vendors, which is really exciting. So the vendors that we have are everything from fruits and vegetables to baked goods. We have a gluten-free baker. We have several different cheese vendors doing local cow's milk cheese and goat milk cheese. We have an herbal apothecary. We have Indian foods and treats and wine and spirits. It really runs the whole gamut. Lots of meat, eggs, butter. So it's, we aim to create a place where people in the area can come to shop and do their grocery shopping. And while they're doing that, they can also be supporting these amazing local businesses and farms that we're really lucky to have in this area.
It seems that there's also a social aspect to it, really, that it's, that the food obviously is the main thrust of it, but that I've heard music there, I've seen puppet shows, all kinds of cool things. I mean,
honestly, people just come a lot of times to the farmers market because it's a Saturday morning and they want to get out of the house and it's something really lovely to do. We see, people coming through kind of just like they just have their morning coffee and it's a beautiful day and they want to go for a stroll and they end up at the farmers market, and some people who have never even maybe been to the market find out all the amazing things that are there. So it is definitely a big community event. We have a lot going on. We have tons of events all the time. Every week there's live music. I'm really proud of the music that we have at the farmers market. We get some really awesome talent in from Kingston and beyond. Sometimes people come from the city and Albany and to play at the farmers market, which is really wonderful.
Is it a particular genre? Like, is it more like
I try to diversify it. I think there's we have to be conscious of maintaining volume, and we don't have big 5-piece bands.
No heavy metal.
Generally speaking. But at the same time, I'm a musician. I do like to diversify, and I like to give different types of musicians a chance to play and give people at the market a different musical perspective than they might otherwise get. So we do have a lot of like folk and bluegrass and that kind of feel, but there's also plenty of other music. We have had several Balkan bands come through. We've had some jazz folks come. We've had African drummers come from Albany. We've really been lucky to have quite a variety.
That's great. And aside from people being able to buy food and take it home, do they have food available to eat there also, whether it's breakfast or lunch or whatever?
Well, we're really lucky to have our market in the center of uptown Kingston, where there are lots of amazing restaurants serving really good food, and a lot of them source their food from local farms and some even from farms at our farmers market. So we've kind of made a conscious decision that we're not going to do a lot of prepared food to be eaten on site, because we want to make sure that we're doing our part to support the local businesses and restaurants that are already uptown in Kingston. So the majority of the foods that we offer at the market are grocery type items that are not meant to be eaten on site. But there are plenty of things to snack on at the market. You definitely will not leave hungry if you go hungry, but
not processed foods. I mean,
right,
it's all fresh. And,
exactly, yeah. We don't have like a falafel stand, for example, like some other markets do, but there's lots of delicious things to munch on while you're there.
Mm-hmm. And what about in terms of access for folks from different family income levels? I mean, how do you accommodate those folks?
Yeah, we have a lot of, as you know, Kingston is a very diverse area, and we want to make sure that the farmers market is available to everybody. I know there's a lot of, there's an idea that farmers markets are unfortunately thought of as an elite type of place to shop, that they're more expensive than going to the grocery store, and that is true in some cases, but we make a conscious effort at our farmers market to make sure that the food is accessible to many different people at different income levels. So besides the fact that we have very many different vendors, and so there's an aspect of competitive pricing, there's also, we also accept SNAP benefits, so folks can use their food stamps at the farmer's market, come to the market tent, and they'll swipe their card and we'll give them tokens. And there's also a really exciting program through the state called Fresh Connect, where for every $5 that they spend in SNAP, they can also get a $2 coupon to be used in the same way at the farmer's market. So that stretches their dollar by 40%, which is really amazing.
I didn't even know about that.
thing.
That's really great.
It is really amazing because, there are some instances where the food at the farmer's market is a little bit pricier than what you would find at the grocery store. So this is a nice incentive for lower income folks who are using SNAP benefits to come in and at least see what they can get for their dollar, because really it's probably more than people think.
Right. We see in general, when the discussion comes around purchasing fresh produce, for instance, or even healthier foods, that sometimes, if you think just in terms of quantity of food for what you get, for what you pay, you might be able to get more processed foods or more, lower nutrition foods from a greater quantity, but the quality in terms of nutritional value is not there. Whereas when you get fresh local produce and other items, dairy items and so on, you're doing better.
Yeah, it's so true. But then you do also run into a roadblock, and for some folks who are used to eating processed foods almost exclusively, that they come to the farmer's market and it's all very exciting and they can use their Fresh Connect checks and SNAP and WIC checks, but then they don't know what to do with the foods that they're seeing in front of them, because they're just maybe they're not used to shopping for these types of foods, or it's not part of the culture that they're in to eat certain different types of foods that they might be seeing. So we also do make an effort to have cooking demonstrations at the farmers market so that they can see. This is for everybody. It's not just meant for low-income people. It's for everyone to see new and different ways to use the foods at the farmers market, because everyone. There's only you have like one way that you think of eating kale,
Right.
but actually there's so many amazing different ways.
Well, as we all know,
palates.
Coming up with interesting and new and nutritious items on a family, for the family meals is not always easy for those of us who are really busy, right?
It's not, and of course, as we said before, I have a 5-year-old, and she loves being at the farmer's market, but sometimes it can become a challenge to get her to eat the
kale.
Yeah, eat some new foods. She is adventurous, but not always as adventurous as I'd like. So anyway, it's nice to get some new ideas, at least, how to dress everything up.
Well, great. We want to learn more, but we're going to take a short break right now. We're speaking with Katie Kondrat from the Kingston Farmers Market. We'll be back after these words.
In emergency care, it's all about experience. At Health Alliance Hospital Broadway campus, a member of the Westchester Medical Center Health Network, it's another way we're investing in you. We're board certified in emergency medicine, nationally recognized in stroke care, and use telemedicine to give patients access to the region's leading specialists. Patients tell us we make their experience exceptional by treating them with the utmost respect. Health Alliance Hospital Broadway campus. We're advancing care here. Visit hahv.org for more.
Welcome back. You are listening to Healthy Ulster Radio. Our special guest today is Katie Kondrat, the manager of the Kingston Farmers Market. Katie, before the break, we started talking about some more programs that may be of particular interest to children in the farmers market. Could you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. Yeah, we have, besides the fact that we have a specific Kids Day on July 15th this year, which will kind of be a celebration for children. We'll have some extra fun things, face painting and kids activities available. That's July 15th.
Giant carrot characters.
That's a great idea. Yeah, do you want to come? And we'll have to find a carrot costume, but I'm sure we could manage. We also have a really exciting program this year that's brand new that we're able to roll out June 1st, thanks to our sponsor, Ulster Savings Bank. It's called the Power of Produce Club, POP Club. And it is a program geared towards kids ages 5 to 10 who, it's open to all children who are ages 5 to 10, and they can come to the market table, and we'll give them a little passport, card with their name on it and their age, and they'll be able to go around and get, with the $2 coupon that we give them each time they come to the market, they can go and make their own shopping choice with that $2 coupon for fruits and vegetables. So this is a program to encourage children to make their own economic choices with the $2. It's not a huge amount of money, but you can decide how you're going to spend it. It encourages them to eat and try new foods, which we were mentioning a little bit before. And it also gets them to interact with the farmers market. It gives them a reason to come back on a regular basis and to know farmers, because I think this idea of knowing where your food comes from and who is making and growing and producing your food is incredibly important to encouraging people of all ages to become healthier eaters and healthier consumers.
Yeah, the importance of local farms and family farms, which is such a big part of Ulster County history and culture and economy, really.
Yeah, and I think it's really easy to be kind of put on blinders when you go to any general grocery store and kind of not have to think about where your food is coming from or who is growing it, or the land that it's being grown on. So for us, maybe living in Kingston, the city of Kingston, it might become easy for us to become disconnected with the agricultural aspect of food, which is really, really, really important. And of course, without farms,
absolutely, it's what sustains us. And certainly the earlier children recognize and appreciate the farming community, the better that we will all be.
Mm-hmm. And as you said, Dr. Smith, in the county health rankings by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, they have a criteria in there that's called Food Environment Index, and that takes into account food insecurity and access to fresh and healthy produce and food. Mm-hmm. And for many people who even in the city of Kingston who might not own a car, it can be sometimes a little difficult.
Definitely.
If there's not a major supermarket or a farmer's market in your neighborhood. We know that that there's a trail going in the old railroad called the Midtown Linear Park,
mm-hmm.
and the Green Line that will connect the Roundout to uptown Kingston,
Very
where the
exciting.
farmers market is, which is a really great thing.
Yeah, that's a really wonderful way to get people kind of like moving around different parts of Kingston, I think, and that's really critical. I'm really excited that that's happening. And I think that when we think about where the shopping centers are in Kingston, there's a whole huge swath of Kingston that has really no easy walkable access to a grocery store place that you can even buy. You could walk into some stores, but there's no nothing green, nothing that's been grown within the last that's not packaged in plastic.
Right.
And so I think this is obviously there's always transportation access issues, but if we can get people to the farmers market and get them to see and taste the amazing food that's there, I think that's step one. Because a lot of times you don't even realize how much better fresh, amazing, locally grown food even tastes until you don't even know what you're missing until you've had it.
Yeah, the YMCA in Kingston has a program called Starfish, and it's a summer program for youth. And they go out to farms, to our local farms, and they actually get engaged in the process of how food is grown and with livestock, and they actually get to bring home different items, different vegetables and fruits that
That's so cool.
In many cases they never saw before or never tasted before, certainly, and they become like the ambassadors to their families.
Yeah,
that's a really great thing.
It's a really wonderful thing. And Casey Wimbish, who is the farmer at the YMCA Farm Project, she's also on our board, and she does a mobile market through Midtown Kingston during the summer months, a mobile farmers market. So she grows the produce in a lot sort of tucked behind the YMCA, and she does an amazing job, and she rides her bicycle.
Right, it's a cart that attaches to her bike, right?
It's
with
amazing.
fresh produce in it.
Yeah, it's amazing. So she sets up a stand in the YMCA, and then she also has a couple other locations that she bikes to. You can find out more about that Kingston YMCA farm project, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't want to give wrong details, but it's amazing. I think it's something like Tuesdays and Thursdays through the summer, and that's a really great option for folks Midtown. And also, I go there too. I live uptown, but I go there on Thursdays sometimes when I've run out of my my Saturday produce.
I know, and this is not really so much farm market, but we've really been engaged in a broad initiative to hook up the agricultural sector of the family farms in Ulster County with the 37 different food pantries that are throughout Ulster County, and we set up through the Hudson Valley Farm Fresh Collaborative, which family is a big part of, in Ulster Core, of we set up 6 regional distribution centers so that farmers can donate fresh produce. It can be stored in those giant walk-in coolers, and then the food pantries can come and access that food when they need it. And last year, I think we distributed 32 tons of fresh produce to the farm pantries throughout Ulster County, and that's
thanks to the generosity of the farmers. And things like farmers markets are ways to give back too, to say you appreciate the work that they're doing here in the county for us. So that's something very important to recognize.
Right. Farm markets really are a celebration of agriculture, a celebration of history, a celebration of community, a way to eat healthier, to enjoy your friends and your community in a very special way. I think it's a really great thing.
Yeah, and it's amazing to think that only 17 years ago and even more recently than that in some other communities, there were just not farmers markets were not a thing that you would find on a regular weekend. You would become, when I grew up in Oneonta, and I remember like when the farmers market started, it was not when I was a child. It was even though there's a lot of agriculture in that area, it's amazing to think that farmers markets are a renewed thing. Obviously, that used to be a major outlet. They were the
original market.
Right. It used to be a major
outlet. Before there were supermarkets.
Yeah. But then, of course, it all died down, and now I'm so happy to say that to know that it's coming back in all these regions of the
I think
country.
Somewhere along the line, supermarkets kind of got away from even buying local, because the way their volume purchasing mechanisms
well,
are
now
set
when you
up.
see a sign, locally grown or local produce, I know I'm definitely attracted to that before I'll go to another product that may not be. So it's becoming, recognized that we certainly do need to support our local farmers, and that very often it's better quality because it is fresher right off the vine, as it were.
Better quality, and it really, it boosts our local economy, keeps the money circulating within the community.
And it's great that there's a demand. I mean, the fact that we even have these signs in the supermarket that says, grown locally or whatever it says, means that people are asking for that. They know it's important because it's what people want to see. People want to be buying local food. They get that it's more delicious and healthier and better for the community and for the land.
So, Katie, if folks want to learn more about the Kingston Farmers Market, whether it's an event or something else going on or what's available there, where do they go?
They should go to our website, kingstonfarmersmarket.org. We also have a pretty active Facebook page. You can search for us in Kingston Farmers Market. There's also a Kingston Farmers Market in Ontario and Australia.
Jamaica.
So,
it's Kingston, New York.
Kingston, New York. Yeah, and we're on Instagram. You can find some beautiful photos that customers take from the farmers market. The beautiful, luscious colors. So any of that can be found online.
Yeah, so if you haven't been to the Kingston Farmers Market, you have to get there because it really is it truly is special. It's a wonderful experience, and you'll find yourself going home with amazing, delicious things to eat. And if you live way outside of the Kingston area, look for a local farm market near you, because there's no substitute for fresh local food.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And we go through the winter. The farmers market goes through the winter, so we go to every other Saturday, but it's December through April, so we have 11 winter markets most years, and it's a little bit smaller, but still lovely, and a great way to get local produce and products.
Is that held indoors?
Yes, it's in the Old Dutch Church on Wall Street in Kingston.
And the farmers market in the spring and summer is uptown Kingston on Wall Street, right?
Yeah, between John Street and Main Street from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So our opening day was May 13th. It's very exciting, and we'll be going every Saturday from then on through November 18th.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you for all the great work you do with the Kingston Farmers Market, and
Thank you both.
Yeah, it's a really wonderful asset in the community. That's about all the time we have for today. You're listening to Healthy Ulster Radio. Tune in next week for more great information that you can use to keep yourself, your family, and your community healthy and strong. See you next week.
You've been listening to the Healthy Ulster Radio Show, a community affairs presentation from the Ulster County Health Department, sponsored by Health Alliance of the Hudson Valley in Kingston, a member of the WMC Health Network. Thanks for listening, and be sure to join us for another edition of the Healthy Ulster Radio Show next week.